All right, builders, let's get right into it. If you're building with AI agents, you've definitely seen the leaderboards. SW Bench, Agent Bench, you know the ones. There's always this single score that promises to tell you who's number one. But what do those numbers really mean? Today, we're going to cut through all that noise and find out.
And this really gets to the heart of it. Agent scores can be super helpful, for sure. But the real story, both the good and the bad, it's all buried in the fine print. So if you're building in this space right now, this is the one thing you've got to remember.
So first, let's talk about something I call the scoreboard seduction. It's that powerful, almost magnetic pull of seeing a simple ranking. You know the feeling.
And here's why we're so drawn to them. Look, building an agent is complex stuff. Evaluating it, that can feel even harder. So a benchmark score comes along with this beautiful promise to take all that messy, complicated reality and just boil it down to one single number you can compare. It feels like instant clarity. Which, of course, leads us to the most critical question we have to ask ourselves. So, let's say your agent hits number one on some popular benchmark. You celebrate, you fire off that tweet, but does that actually mean it's the best agent out there for what your users really need?
Well, to answer that, we have to do the work. We have to actually read the fine print. We've got to look beyond that flashy headline score and dig into the details that truly matter.
So here's the fundamental clash, right? On one hand, you have the promise of this universal trophy, a single score to rule them all. But the reality, as any of us who build this stuff know, is that performance is so specific to the scenario. I mean, an agent that absolutely crushes it on WebArena might be totally useless for debugging Python code. Context is everything.
And that fine print reveals at least three massive hidden risks. First up is coverage. You gotta ask, does this benchmark even test the kinds of things my users will be doing? Because if you're building a customer service agent, a high score on a software engineering test is, well, it's completely irrelevant. Second, there's tooling. That amazing score might not be from the agent's own smarts, but from some superpowered tool it was given just for the test. And third, and this might be the biggest one, contamination. Did the model already see the test questions in its training data? If it did, it's not solving a problem, it's just remembering an answer. And that means the score is basically worthless.
Okay, so knowing the risks is one thing, but what do we actually do about it? Well, that brings us to a practical playbook I like to call the real-world gauntlet. This really requires a fundamental shift in how we think. We have to stop chasing the top spot on a leaderboard. It's time to start validating performance on the tasks that actually matter to our users.
Here's your playbook. It's 3 simple steps. Number 1, understand the benchmark. Don't just glance at the score, go read the paper. Seriously, know its strengths, but more importantly, know its limitations. 2, and this is so key, validate on your tasks. You need to create your own small set of tests that perfectly mirror your specific use case. That becomes your true north. And 3, don't overfit. Man, it is so tempting to just tweak your prompts to squeeze out a few extra points, right? But if you do that, you're just creating a one-trick pony, an agent that's great at the test but brittle and useless in the real world.
And all of this brings us to the final, and I think the most important mental model to take away from this whole thing. It's all about understanding the difference between a compass and a map. Think about it like this. A map is for a solved problem. It gives you precise, turn-by-turn directions because the world is already known. But building AI agents, that is not a solved problem. We are exploring a totally unknown world. And in that world, you don't need a map, you need a compass. You just need something that tells you if you're generally headed in the right direction.
And that is exactly what a benchmark should be. Use that leaderboard score as your compass. If the number is going up, fantastic. Your changes are probably helping. But you have to remember, your final destination is not the top of the leaderboard. It's building an agent that solves real problems for real users.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to reflect on for your own work. The next time you check your agent's score, just ask yourself honestly, is this benchmark a compass that's guiding my way forward? Or has it become a blindfold, keeping me from seeing what truly matters? Thanks for joining me for this explainer.